What's up, my beautiful people? How are you today? How are you doing? Come closer, come. Hey, friend. How are you today? I'm on the vibe of talking about something that everyone should listen to, and that is the story we tell ourselves each and every day. What did you tell yourself every morning? What did you tell yourself today? What did you communicate to yourself before you slept? Because you know what? The biggest important thing that we should all know that you're the biggest fan of yourself. You spend 24/7 with yourself. Even when your bestie goes to sleep, even when your partner goes to sleep, you're still with yourself. If you're not with your conscious mind, you're either with your subconscious mind. Did you know that when you sleep, there's some other mind of yours that keeps working even when you're sleeping? And what's that mind? That is subconscious mind. So I would want you to know that you're your own bestie, and every time everything is going astray or something is going the way you're not understanding, I would want you to start minding what you communicate to yourself. Actually, this should be mindful communication, like mindful me chatting with me. What do I tell myself every morning when things happen either to go astray or when things are not working in the way that I want them to work? What do I tell myself? When I've had a bad day, do I really say I've had a bad day, I'm a loser, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I can do with my life? Or do I tell myself, darling, we've learned something, we've picked a lesson, let's get it together and we'll pick a lesson, and next time we will do better. You did your best, you tried today, so how about the trials? We'd still try again tomorrow. Let's start being mindful of what we're telling ourselves, because the subconscious mind is listening. Even while you're asleep, your conscious mind might be asleep, but there's this subconscious mind which keeps, when it is awake, it keeps processing whatever that you've been going through throughout that day, what you've been telling yourself. Because I love the statement that says, hey darling, mind what you're telling yourself, because you're listening. And you know what? Indeed, you're listening, and you're the only one who is listening. Can you imagine that I'll tell myself I'm beautiful, and I'll feel I'm the first person who's going to listen to that before actually my neighbor knows what I'm telling myself? And when I tell myself, oh my god, I'm a failure, still I'm the first person who will listen to that. So how about we start minding about what we tell ourselves? Sometimes we don't know what we should be communicating to ourselves, yet we're out there actually communicating to other people. But I just realized that when we're out there and thinking things gonna get better for us before we work out on ourselves, it doesn't go anywhere. That's why they say it starts with you. Change starts with you. Love starts with you. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you want to love somebody and you don't love you, darling, how are you going to start that relationship? Or how are you going to do whatever you want to do? If you want to start a business and somehow you're even not disciplined with being employed, working for someone else, how are you going to be disciplined with your own business? So it all starts with you. So the story tell yourself every day gonna make you the person you're going to be. Because if you're so motivated, if you're so inspired, if you know what you want and when you want it, you will know. I feel like you should also know that it is what it is, that at some moment you have to figure out how to talk to yourself, and you have to know that every time I tell myself what I'm telling myself, I'm the first person who's listening. And while we're on this journey of personal growth, I want you to know that, darling, you stumble, you fall, and the only thing that you have to make you and to keep you going is the story you tell yourself. Every morning, what you tell yourself. Every evening when you come back, even after that hard day, after that tough day, what you tell yourself. So you're the only first motivator, actually self-motivator of your soul, that when I reignite, when I come back home, I have to reignite myself. Besides the bad day, I will tell myself something beautiful, and another day will pass. And you know what, you have to know that sometimes we'll have to go through these short pains that we're calling pains right now for us to actually get our long-term gains. And without the pain, there's no what? There's no gain. We have to go through this pain, and pain sometimes it doesn't come just alone. It comes being accompanied by discomfort, because discomfort is what makes us grow. And that means that growth and comfort can't be on the same page. If you want to grow somehow, you have to be uncomfortable. Somehow, you have to figure it out along the way by getting out of that comfort zone, by getting out what you think has been making you comfortable. And in the long run, when we want a life we want, we have to step out of our comfort zone. We have to cross a bridge, and then we have to know that there's another step that we're supposed to be taking after crossing, because we are comfortable doing something for other people, but we're not comfortable doing it for ourselves. You're comfortable showing empathy to some other person, but you're not showing empathy to yourself. You're comfortable showing someone love, but you're not comfortable giving yourself love. And that's how even when you're giving that love, it's actually half-baked love, because you can't love it. You can't love that person, you can't love that business if you're not loving it your own way, or if you're not actually interested into, maybe let's say, that relationship. You have to first love you, and you go out there and shine. And let's say if you have that business, you have to first work for others, and you know the pinch of working. And in between, we find the balance between life, between work, between our lives, between our interests, okay, which the interests are going to be maybe self-interests, but in the long run that will be serving others also for the greatness. So I would want us to know today that let's mind what we tell ourselves each and every day. It's all what I'm requesting for today. I may not ask for so much, but I want you to know that each and every morning when you wake up and you tell yourself that story, know that you're listening. And let that story be a story that can give you hope. Let it be the story that can motivate you. Let it be the story that can inspire you. Let it be that story that can actually lift your soul up even when you're feeling like, oh my God, how about this? How am I going to handle this? How am I going to deal with this? I feel like it's so heavy for me, but there's nothing that is so heavy for you, darling, because I know you can handle, and I believe in you. And each and every day I come back here and I say the same thing. It doesn't matter whether I say it every day, but I believe in you, and I'm gonna tell you that you're awesome, you're beautiful, you're hardworking, you're gonna do this. Actually, you're gonna shine. You know, the sky is no longer the limit as long as you don't limit yourself while telling yourself some story. And that story, let it be affirmed today. Declare it, write it down in your journal. So let's start with focusing and being intentional, and by doing this we're going to do some exercise. Get into your bed, and I want you to do the backward self-reflection of what you did from the time you've entered your bed, so that from the time you've entered the bed to the time actually woke up in the morning. Okay, I'm in bed. Okay, before entering the bed, what did I do? Maybe I had supper. Before having supper, what did I do? Maybe I did journaling. Before maybe journaling, what did I do? I was in the car or in the taxi, maybe listening to an audio or listening to a book. Okay, reading a book, or I was chatting with someone. Whatever you did, find out what you did. And when you find out what you did in the day, figure it out in between. Did you find any challenges? Did you find anywhere where you talked to yourself in the way that was not nice or that was not good enough? And if you find out that you had that time, try to, before you sleep, actually try to remind your subconscious mind that whatever it is, it's sometimes life doesn't give you what you actually want, but it gives you what you need for growth. Sometimes we're crying for some things and we're like, God, why is this not happening to me? Why is it not happening the right way? But there's a reason why it hasn't happened, and God is preparing you for growth. That is one thing that you should know every time you're being tested. And when you're tested beyond your limit, just know that God knows whatever it is you can handle. And when He knows you can handle, darling, you can handle. There's no any other way that you may not be able to do so. God empowering you, He knows you can handle, and He knows how me and go through your days, see where your time goes and what you do during that time of the day and figure it out how you can add it up together to bring in the affirmations, to talk to yourself nicely, to have a positive self-talk, to be surrounded by people who are having a so positive talk, the people who believe in you, the people who know that you're the right person actually at the right time, who is doing the right thing and at the right time. And like small, we still have to add up some things here and just am I the one actually thinking about all this, that I'm supposed to be telling myself some story and actually I'm the writer of myself, I'm the author, the author who chooses to be like, you know what, Remy, you don't have to identify yourself, you have to redefine yourself, you don't have to talk to yourself in this kind of okay, okay, like you get it. Okay, after saying I get it, I feel like this is it, and when I get it, I have to act, and when I have to act, I have to be intentional, and when I have to be intentional, it has to be towards my vision. So, darling, go out there and write your own story. Tell yourself whatever you want to tell yourself, and that will be you. There's no one who's going to stop you from being you unless you are the one. No one, and absolutely no one. You have a right to define yourself. You have a right to say, let me reintroduce myself. By the way, you thought I was this person, but let me tell you, darling, that person is dead. That person is no longer existing. This is the new me, like new me. And if I'm to go ahead and tell you who I am, no, sometimes you just don't have to tell people who you are. Let them watch some actions. So reintroduce yourself in the way that you're going to be like, I'm proud of me. So guys, just go and practice that by the story you're telling yourself each and every day. All those other shades that you're having, besides the scars that you're having, just know that there's a bit of growth that you've gotten from all that you've gone through. And when you actually focus on the lessons that you've gotten from whatever you've gone through, it's going to be so much better for you to keep moving, to get to the life that you want. And ask yourself today, which life do I want to live? What lifestyle actually do I want to live? How do I want to live? How do I want to be remembered? And make sure that when you do so, be the captain, be the driver, be in that seat of knowing I'm the one. Until then, I love you so much, and it's just about us to tell you, love yourself and tell yourself good things, because when you tell yourself good things, when you're thankful enough, God gonna get a way of bringing you whatever it is. Anyway, it was nice listening from you. It was nice having a little chat with you. I love you so much, and I believe in you, and thanks for being here with me. Thanks for being in this space with me. You belong here. I belong to you. Belong to me. And when I say we belong to each other, that is a community, that is the space, that is the family that we're built here. Thank you so much for watching, and guess what, I want to send you kisses.